Welcome to the Homeownership podcast presented by Movementum Realty, located in Hanover, Massachusetts. This series covers all things real estate and the best practices for buying, selling, and owning property. Now here is your host, Sean Maloney.
Welcome to episode 235, Minimizing Property Losses. I'm your host, Sean Patrick Maloney. Thanks for joining me this week. This week, I want to talk to you guys all about minimizing property losses during storm events and during normal life hold events. Just the normal occasion of owning a home. I'm going to go over some of the risks that you have there to your own property and things that you can do to prevent larger losses in the future. Because remember, owning a home, it's a big responsibility, and it comes with the need to attend to things when bad weather's coming. Failure to secure your property can lead to massive damages that are often not covered by your insurance companies. Doesn't matter what type of house you have, whether you need to put the chairs away, you need to put the lawn chair table away, you need to secure your shed door, you need to close the windows in your garage, you need to roll in the awnings, take down the umbrellas, tie up the boat, put away the motorcycle, close the car windows, take down the flags, secure the plants, cover the vegetables. Whatever it be you need to in life, accept the responsibility of what happens when you fail to do so. Because as soon as you start doing that, you're going to realize that your power is time and energy. And to complain after, you're going to put your power and energy into taking that broken item out. You're going to put your power and energy into making more money to buy that broken item. Then you're going to put your power and energy into reassembling and setting that same item back up that you already owned. Just simply taking the time when you hear about a storm and going and taking the steps necessary to protect your property is going to cause you a huge benefit. Now, I know that the weatherman says oftentimes it's going to rain and it doesn't, and it stinks to be overly prepared. But similar to what we learn in life, if it can go wrong, it will go wrong. If you don't go and close those windows, guess what's happening? It's raining into your home. Make sure to always, when leaving seasonal houses, leave them in a way where no matter what the weatherman says is coming, it's ready for it. Everything's properly tethered down, everything's properly put away, the windows are shut, the quality control, air control systems are running, and we know we're ready for something. Allowing storms to jump up on us is a huge mistake. Oftentimes we see this with boat owners, right? We think to ourselves, why, when a hurricane was coming, would you leave your boat in the water? Other than wanting an insurance claim, like what would have rolled through your head where you say, I could pay $500 to pull my boat, or I could let my boat get swept away. Now, I know a lot of us think insurance, but the truth is of insurance, lots of flood damage, lots of storm damage, they use terms like act of God, things like that, and you really don't get your money back. Or if you do, you spent a lot of unnecessary energy into getting back to where you were, which anytime you spend energy and time into getting back to where you were in history, it means you're behind. You're already starting from behind. So let's try to minimize those losses ahead of time. Another thing to think about, trees, right? Trees and shrubs. Lots of people have them around the house. They like the look. They like the decoration. They like the way it makes their property feel. The truth is, a tree or a bush close enough to your house, everything from scratching the paint on the side of your house, starting to cause rot by keeping the area moist, dropping leaves and sticks and stuff into the gutters, causing backups, or worst case scenario, getting storm damage during a high wind event and having it drop on top of your house. Now, while it looks quaint all year long, when the storms come, which we always know, right? It's always end of summer for us here in Massachusetts. We get the tropical downpours, we get the thunder and lightning, we get into the series of possible hurricane-esque storms, and then we jump right into nor'easter category, high snow events, lots of tree damage. Do not wait for the trees to come down on your house to have the trees taken care of. I'm a person who loves nature. I believe in trees. I don't believe in trees in dangerous locations to your property or to your people because it will lead to losses. And sometimes, no matter what type of insurance you have, the losses could be so large. What if your children are out back and a tree was to fall on top of their swing set or anything else that could happen? I don't want to put that on you, but think about it that way because you live underneath those trees. So at minimum, hire a certified arborist company, not just a tree removal company if you're going to keep them, but hire an arborist, have them look at the trees, have them do a climbing inspection, get up in the canopy, set some different cables and support systems if you're going to keep the tree around the house. Otherwise, you really need to talk about major prunings and removals to make sure you're keeping your family and your property safe. Now let's talk about heavy rains. So heavy rains being forecasted, we've had that a lot lately, and a lot of times people act very surprised when they come home and their basement's full, or their driveway's washed out, or they have all sorts of water inside their house because it blew in the wind. Make sure when heavy rains are forecasted, you have your windows closed. Make sure you think like a plumber. Where's downhill? That's where water's going to go. So if you look up the street and the road faces your direction, you might want to place some sandbags on a highly rainy day. That way there, if the water comes your way, it's going to divert it back into the road versus running down your driveway. You want to check your storm gutters. You want to check your drains. Are your gutters or your drains full? Some people have their own landscape drains that drain backyards that fill up with water. Some people even have pumps. Have you checked on those? Have you checked on your pumps, your sandbags, your storm drains, your gutters? If your gutters drop too close to the house, do you have to add extenders on for these high rain events? Maybe you just simply add a couple pieces of piping for these high rain events and take it away on a normal day because normally you don't get water. Just because you don't get water on a normal day doesn't mean during one of these high rain events you're not going to see water. Think like a plumber, think downhill, think how about if the drains on the road clog up? What am I going to do about it? How am I going to react? Am I going to go out there with a rake? Do I have my boots ready? Do I have my rain jacket ready? How am I going to prevent losses? Because remember, most of you don't carry flood insurance. So if this comes in and floods your basement, how are you going to prepare to take care of that ahead of time so it doesn't get there? And then if it does, how are you going to get the water out pump-wise and dry the place quickly? How are you going to remove the drywall? All the things that come with that. So let's think ahead again, save energy by being prepared. Guys, I know it stinks to prepare for storms, and I know the weatherman obviously has a side business selling shovels and pumps because they constantly are telling us all these different events, and sometimes they don't happen. That said, the day it does happen, it's you that loses. It's you that loses the property, and it's you that either increases your insurance rate or takes the hit themselves. Make sure to prepare. The more property you own, the more prepared you need to be, even if it means hiring management companies to help with the properties. Take care of your stuff. It will pay you off tenfold. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you haven't already done so, make sure to pound that subscribe button. Also, tell all your friends and family about this great free podcast all about buying, selling, and owning homes, preventing losses, and making people more successful in real estate. Thanks again, and have a great week.